Okay, yes. The questions to Chandni shall be put in the chat, and the last presentation of the day is Khushbu. Yes, Khushbu. Are you ready,
Yes,
Khushbu?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yours is
sir.
the last. Yeah. Okay. Yes, you can start now. Yes, Khushbu. Hello. Have you started speaking? Yeah, Khushbu.
Is my screen visible?
Hi. Yes, visible now. You can start. Yeah.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible. Yeah, start. Yeah. Yes, it is visible. Are you not able to listen us?
Yes, sir. Now I am able to listen.
Okay. Yeah. Start your presentation.
Okay. My today's topic of the presentation is um, Virginia Woolf's Orlando and queer theory. First of all, let's understand what is the meaning of the word queer. The origins of the term queer are ambiguous, and it is assumed that the term entered into English in the 16th century from German, where it is originally meant strange, odd, peculiar. And in the late 19th and early 20th century, the expression was used as slang or pejorative for homosexuals. Later, by the late 1980s, however, some gay people began to deliberately use the word queer in place of gay or homosexual in an attempt by using the word positively to deprive it of its negative power. Origins of the queer theory. It has its origins in gay and lesbian studies as well as in women's studies. Both lesbian and gay studies began as liberation movements in the late 1960s and 70s, but eventually were incompatible to each other. Gays often consider themselves as males, refuting the need of women, hence exhibiting misogynist temperament. Uh, Later on, with the emergence of a broader inclusive theory, they adopted a queer identity, realizing the purpose they share as oppressed minorities. Definitions. An LGBT academic and fiction author, Anna Mary Jago's in her book entitled Queer Theory and Introduction, states queer focuses on mismatches between sex, gender, and desire unknown to many. Queer is in association with more than just gay and lesbian, but also cross-dressing, which is particularly seen in this novel Orlando, hermaphroditism, and gender ambiguity and gender corrective surgery. Queer thus widens its peripheries to incorporate any kind of sexual activity or identity which is deviate to heteronormative model of society. Um, Post-structuralist in nature, queer theory is greatly influenced by post-structuralist and deconstructive ideas of Derrida and Foucault. Derrida, Foucault, and other post-structuralists challenged the notion of a systematic and stable structure which incorporates the center serving as the organizer and regulator of the structure. Inspired by the post-structuralist tenets, queer theorists interrogated the stable structure of identity. Here are the two interesting quotes by Virginia Woolf. Then Virginia Woolf's Orlando, a biography. The story of Orlando spans over 300 years from 1588 to 1928 in the novel. During this time, Orlando ages only 36 years and changes gender from a man to a woman. Here, the genre is fictional biography, and a work of this we can see that a work of queer life writing, writing about the self or the individual. That is a quote by Marlene Kadar. Life writing should encourage the reader to develop and foster his or her self-consciousness. And in this novel, we see that the queer theory and in reference to the cross-dressing in Orlando occurs fairly frequently, and because they are so alike underneath their clothes, the genders should be allowed more freedom in their actions. Orlando, a work of traditional writing. As quoted by Marlene Kadar, the pretend to be absent from the text means the biographer or the author has to be present in the text. Where Orlando's life truly established itself was a work of life writing in the middle ground between the extraordinary and the mundane. Means it is not too much very special and not very mediocre also, but of the middle type. Orlando as a queer life writing, transgender. As Pamela Kirk explains, reconfigures in life writing narratives not only notions of gender but also of time, identity, and history. Approximately 300 years have first we have to see that time. Then approximately 300 years have passed in total since the novel began with Orlando as a young boy, and those years do not come to a close with the last page. In Changing Between Dresses and Suits, Orlando explores how her gender is constituted through the freedoms and restrictions of her clothes. History does not frame the text. Instead, Woolf uses changes in Orlando's identity to frame history. So, one quote which is said by Queen Elizabeth to Orlando is that, "Do not fade, do not wither, do not grow old." Woolf addressed Orlando to her female lover, the poet and bisexual socialist Vita Sackville West. She was the model for the androgynous Lord Orlando in what has been described as the longest love letter in the world. So with this we can say that it is related to queer theory, and it is a homosexual type of relationship. And these are some scenes from the film Vita and Virginia. And these are my citations. Thank you, sir.
Okay, well cited and well presented. Also, you also referred to Pamela Coggi's presentation. This citation also in the text. That is also a good point to see there. Okay, we can take one question to her. One question who can ask. I think Aditi, Anjali, Aditi. No, I think previous one. No? Hiral and Jignesh. Yeah. Okay, Hiral or Jignesh. Yes, Khushbu, you can stop presenting now. And yes. Who is asking question to her?
Hello, can you define that Orlando as a queer of writing in short form?
Yes, Orlando has some elements of queer writing. We can see that Orlando has dressing. Orlando changes the dress as he changes his gender from man to woman. So after he becomes a woman, he wears the clothes of woman. So in cross dressing, we can see that the characters of queer are seen in this novel. And also, this novel is a love letter to Vita Sackville. So the novel also is type of homosexual relationship, and queer theory is related to it.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So to sum up today's day, we can say that all of you did good work, but still slightly if you want to improve from this, either in today afternoon, you won't be able to improve a lot because you might have already decided your topic and also your PPT might be prepared for the afternoon slot. but tomorrow or even for the next semester, then few points you can keep in mind. Uh, Many of you are still reading the slides, so that you can try to see that slides are for the audience. Slides are not for you. See that how you can think of this. See, here in online, it is still okay that if I'm reading slides, then it doesn't make a huge difference. But if you are making a presentation offline, in classroom or on any of the stage, then if you will constantly keep on reading the slide, then you will not have eye contact with the audience. Here it is okay, as if you are reading, then also you can have the slight eye contact if you keep on looking in a camera. But that habit is not a good habit. It's not a good habit. So you have to be careful that if you will make offline presentation, then you will be handicapped. You will be handicapped. You won't be able to look in the eyes of the audience. You will constantly require a slide to read. So try to make that habit that slides are there, but still you can make your presentation as orally as possible, that you can do. Another important point, try to go out of the text. The text is in your syllabus. You are taking a poem or a novel, but if you will do only textual reading, then it is still not good. Go out of the text. Try to compare with another literary text or a cinematic version, something additional you have to do. So this is the space to go out of syllabus. Try to go out of syllabus. Don't confine yourself within syllabus. Don't confine yourself within the syllabus. And even if you will do an excellent study of the text or a poem or a novel that you have taken, but still you are still within the text only, within the syllabus. Explore this space to go out of the syllabus and try to connect this with another literary text, another cinematic version, another film, or simple point which we want to make here is that presentations and assignment is a space where you are supposed to go out of syllabus. Connect your syllabus with something that is outside and try to explore those things. So make use of this for that. Otherwise, it will become more ritualistic. The same thing that is there in the text, which is available on internet. You can easily download something. You can make your slides and you can present those things. But you are not connecting that dot with something else. Knowledge creation is all about connecting dots. So how well you connect a dot which is in your syllabus with something outside, and then you can display your understanding of that topic, that concept in a better way also. So the way Daya has done that, comparing two cinematic adaptation, that was a good point to go beyond and see that if you watch both the films and do your own analysis, it is still better, rather than taking the analysis that is done by somebody. Somebody has done, you can take help of that. But if you do your own analysis and try to display your own understanding, then it is still a better way of looking at those things also there. Okay? By and large, it was good. Aditi, Anjali, you did good. Bhavyang also, who presented very well. Bhumika, Chandani, Hiral, both of you just do rehearsal for the afternoon slot, so we don't waste our time in setting our devices. And Khushbu also, a good point about queer theory was taken by Khushbu. Yes, good point about queer theory was taken. So a historical background of queer theory was given. That was a good point, which we have in semester 3 also, queer theory. So that will help the understanding of Orlando also. And Jignesh also did well with trying to connect with the color combination which is used in the slides also. Okay, fine. So we are meeting again after the second slot according to our time schedule. I think at 12:30. At 12:30 we are meeting again for our next presentation. Right now we are ending our this slot here. Okay?